Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second Fenrirock podcast. Today is going to be a much different rate of speed compared to last week, where we were, chill, feeling sorry for ourselves. This is what millennials do. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at feeling sorry for myself. This week, though, is going to be a change of pace because I have with me a certain somebody that, if you've been with me in the YouTube journey for a while now, you've seen his face before, you've heard his voice before, his multiple voices, because he does not know if he's British, American, or just a crazy person. I'd like to introduce you all to my friend, the Curator, aka the other half to D&D. We can get into that later. Yes, everyone say hello to the Curator. Curator! Or can I call him by your name? Not my full name. Can we just go by real names this one? This makes our lives easier.
Yeah, but if we go by Dave and Dave a lot, then it's going to be all really confusing on who's talking. It's Dave!
Exactly. Yes, his name is... Like, we've let slip in a couple videos before, folks, but his name is also David. And, well, that's why... Yeah, so there you go. Yes, so how you doing, sir? How's things going over there?
I'm doing okay. Relaxing, pissed off. Okay, though.
So a typical Thursday then, eh?
I need a drink.
I feel it, man. I feel it. Trust me. It's been one of those weeks. But speaking of drink, to keep with the tradition of last week, this thing's gonna happen every week, and we did not plan this. We discussed this slightly before. My drink of this week is going to be, since it's a work night because it's Thursday the night we're recording this, a simple rum and coke. And my alcohol of choice is Bumbu. If you guys like rums and you kind of like rum with a little kink of not kink, a little hint of banana, this stuff is amazing. I also have the dark rum version of this. I like this one more. The dark rum one's good. There is one more. There is another one that we haven't had yet. Yeah, I have not had it yet, but we need to try it. We need to find it. But
What is it?
I think it's like the kind of the white rum vodka, not white vodka, white rum from Captain Morgan.
Okay, a little more dry then.
Yeah, like that one. But why don't you tell
Kind of like a Bacardi Silver.
Exactly. Well, why don't you tell the folks what you're drinking, sir?
So, guess what? Here's the Coke, because it's on brand for me, because I drink it like a goddamn fish.
This is true.
Yeah, but you're a Dr. Pepper person. I drink this like a new religion. I can make a cult of Coca-Cola.
I was gonna drink a Coke or Dr. Pepper one, but I was like, I already had one earlier. It's Coke time.
But mixing with that is, guess what? Blue!
You are much lower than I am.
That's because you were over here last time I think we were drinking it.
Oh, you know what? That's right. So yeah, folks. Yeah, today is the first collaborative episode between myself and the Curator. Like I said, it's gonna be offset weeks. 1 week will be me solo. 1 week will be with the Curator, and I'll be switching back and forth. I might have other people here as well. I know some people I want to talk to, but I alluded to this last week as well. Today's topic is we are going to be going over our top 5 TV shows of all time, not best TV shows. Get it out of the way. These are not the best TV shows of all time. Our favorites.
It's our favorites. Yeah.
And we also did not discuss this at all beforehand, so neither of us know what the other person has chosen. So for all we know, we could have crossovers or massive disagreements. One of the two is likely going to happen.
Also, on my case, remember, I am old.
You're only 2 years older than me.
Yeah, you'll feel old too. When
I'm
you hear
bolder than you.
I know. And would you believe that people at work thought you were the older one?
People still think I'm the older one.
I don't know how.
My 21st, like it's just like the week I turned 21, we were down in LA for a trip, and it was literally like a week after. It was when I first started really shaving my head, because that's when my hair loss really first started to go through. And we were at a bar at the hotel, and the bartender did not card me. And I remember, this is 1 week after my birthday. He thought I was 35.
He already thought you were middle-aged, working a 9-to-5 job with kids and a wife, and you're just looking to escape.
I was just a barista at a coffee shop with a chin bar mustache and no hair. AKA typical San Jose guy.
I remember the chin bar mustache, or the chin bar beard going on. You had the asshole beard.
That's also back before I had a double chin, because I wasn't as fat back then. I can't do that no more. I tried. I remember when I accidentally shaved my beard too short, I had to cut my whole face off. I realized, no, I can't do that no more. So yeah, folks. We're gonna have a whole episode of this in the future about us going over a history of our friendship, how long we know each other. We've told you guys how long we know each other. We've known each other literally damn near since last century. So
let me see. What year was it? I think it was when Moses parted the Red Sea.
It was actually when he parted the Blue Sea.
Oh, that's right.
No one knows about
Damn,
that one.
Zelda.
No one knows
It
about
used-
that one.
You see the blood fountain? It used to be water.
Oh God, yes. Prepare for tons of TFS references, guys. Actually, that'd be a good one too. Let's put that on the charts. Top 5 YouTube channels. Top 5 YouTube channels.
Oh dear Christ.
That one could be fun. Actually, let's
I'm
be
still
honest.
working
Let's
on
be
it.
honest. Let's make this one top 10. We have a lot of YouTube. We both love YouTube, so that's what we're gonna talk. We could talk about that one for hours.
Yeah, we would just say memorable moments.
Excuse me. Yeah. Just a heads up, people. I'm still going over allergies, so I'm gonna be coughing a lot. Just giving you a heads up.
And I might get shit faced. It's
Yeah.
a good day.
Oh, that's right, because it's Thursday for me. It's his Saturday.
Yeah, it's Saturday for me, and I got my Discord to work finally because I'm an idiot.
He's not as tech savvy as he once was, folks. Old age will do that to you.
I remember DOS.
Well, sir, do you want to kick it off with your number 5?
Actually, I'm kind of curious to see what your number 5 is. I mean, mine are not particular order. They're just there. They're not ranked from 1 to 5. They are just.
Oh, I ranked them.
The
I ranked mine.
Mine are the 5 shows. I think one of them is actually ranked as number 1. And I think I have my number 2.
If you have a number 1, then go ahead and say that for last. But go in your order one. But fine, I'll start off with mine. My number 5. I'm pretty sure this one's going to be on your list. If it's not, I'm going to question our entire friendship, and I'm going to question all of our morals and why we wasted so many Monday afternoons watching How I Met Your Mother.
I knew that. Okay, that's also on my list too. As
It
number
has
5,
to be.
so
It has to be.
Now, the weird thing is though, is that I almost forgot about it, and I was staring at the box set.
It was
going, I need a number 5 TV show. I have anime on here. I can't have anime on here. It's going to be TV shows. And I'm looking at the fucking box set that I have on my shelf.
This one?
That one.
Oh, yeah,
And I'm sitting here going, what show I want to put on?
The box should have got you a blue horn. But yeah, folks. Okay, so yeah, this is a show we bond over. Like a lot of people are Friends people. I get it. I like Friends too. But I've grown up. I've watched and I love. I've actually bonded with lots of friends over the shows. How I Met Your Mother. I listed reasons just to give myself some talking points, so I don't run out of things to say. Obvious, the first one that we both agree of the heart of the show. Just the pure heart that's on display within just everything about it. The heart of friendship, the heart of heartache, just life lessons, all that crazy stuff. It's relatable. That's the main thing, and you feel like you're actually watching people. And
every character has their role, but it's not like cement defined. Like everybody has their own episode. Everybody, it's not just focused around like Ted or focused around Marshall or Lily. Everybody has their episode where they dive deeper into the character for development and to get to know them a little bit more as a person. So they don't feel like, oh, it's just the funny friend that comes in every now and again. Oh, here's this catchphrase. No. They had a full episode on, I think, Barney, where they dive deeper into his psychology and him. They had a full, I would say 6 episodes into his psyche.
He had a whole season dedicated really just to develop what's actually the brain behind Barney, like why he is the way he is.
Right, and he's just the perf guy on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and it's like you have Ted, who is telling the stories all the way through the series, and it's Bob Saget, and it took me way too long to figure out it was Bob Saget. Yeah, pour one out for the homies. Pouring that into my cup.
This stuff's not cheap. I'm not pouring it out. But yeah, so
I'm pouring Coke into my glass. Actually, I think I mixed it up.
I still have some Coke left in my can too. But yeah, it's like another thing. One thing we both agree on too. It's our kind of comedy. The comedy in the show is just the stuff we jive with. We get the humor. We love the humor. It makes us laugh every time we see. Even jokes we've seen 1,000 times. We laugh every damn time we see it, and we never stop laughing. That's why it's like one of the most rewatchable shows I have. We've rewatched the series 1,000,000 times as well, and I just love that show.
It used to be like a bonding experience. Like he would come over to my house into the archives. We'd sit there, surrounded by games and systems, plug the PS5 and throw in How I Met Your Mother. Or sorry, the PS4. It was the PS4 Pro. My bad.
Yeah.
The PS5's in my room. Well, the PS4, then the PS4 Pro next to it. It was one of the two.
We switched halfway through once you upgraded.
Oh, well, I just had the upgrade. I just moved it out there when I got the PS5 in here. Anyways, game archives. We would punch that in, and we would watch 2 to 3 episodes a Monday. Actually, no, a Sunday. Sunday, or was it Sunday or Monday? I think it was Sunday.
It went back and forth. It was Sunday. It was Sundays. It was Mondays. At one point, it was Thursdays. It's whenever we can days.
And like we're still on the last season, and we haven't finished it yet because you haven't been over here because I switched days off. I'm sorry, it's your fault.
It is actually my fault, folks. Yes and no. I saved your ass. I don't want to hear it.
Okay, you saved me mentally. You didn't save my ass. You saved me from going postal in a hospital.
I also saved you financially, sir. So
$3 more. Woo!
I'm the bank. But yeah, so yeah, folks, we both love that show so damn much. It will always be ingrained in my heart, and with multiple friends, not just the curator, Mr. David here. I watched that. I've bonded over that show with many friends over the years. Well, since I went over my show and since it's on your list as well, why don't you go with your next one? Since we both have the same show, it's your turn.
Okay. Now, this one is straight out of the 60s, and once I said that, you're going to know
yep, I know exactly where we're going.
And it is the only show I have not watched completely on this list. I have watched every show to completion on my list except for this one, but I know I still love it. And if you're old enough to know and you're old enough to still care, and your parents are going, hey, watch this, it's Batman 66.
I thought we were going someplace else. I guess the other one I was thinking is more 70s.
Yeah, you are. I know what you're thinking about, too.
That's what I was thinking.
No, yeah, well, that one I've actually watched all the way through. This one is Batman 1966, and even though I haven't watched the complete series all the way through, I have watched at least about over 3/4 of it, and I still love it. Not because of how goofy it is or how serious it takes itself. It's the fact that it mixes in that overall goofiness, and you're sitting there going, the fuck? Mm-hmm. And they have a straight face all the way through it. There are just even some scenes where even Cesar Romero as Joker sitting there going, huh?
I love this show. Like I haven't seen the whole show either. I've seen tons of. I've seen the movie hundreds of times. I love the old movies so much. I mean, I have it on Blu-ray.
Some days you can't get rid of. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
I have the movie on Blu-ray right over there. But yeah, it's like
it should be him holding the bomb in his air, you know.
For you to pick anything Batman, that one makes sense for you. That one makes sense.
My favorite Batman is still going to be Michael Keaton from 1989, but Adam West is a whole thing by himself, and I have learned so much trivia from watching a little documentary here and a little documentary here, like how Burt Ward actually was a brown belt in Taekwondo. Oh, sorry, Hapkido.
Yeah.
Before he got on the show. Yeah, he was a brown belt in Hapkido before he was on the show, and before he even landed the role as Robin, his next-door neighbor that lived in the same building as him was Bruce Lee. They were friends.
Don't get a much better teacher than that.
No, actually, they were friends and they bonded over martial arts.
Yeah,
it was even funnier was when Bruce Lee became Kato on Green Hornet. And there actually is a crossover episode with the Batman and Robin and Green Hornet and Kato where you have two heroes fighting each other because Batman and Robin are deputized officers of the law in that show, while the Green Hornet and Kato were seen as criminals because they were undercover crime bosses taking over, other organized crime, and then foiling from the inside out, but keeping it as their villains or their mobsters. And they actually have a whole scene where there's a 2-part episode where you have Batman versus Green Hornet, Kato versus Robin. And when Burt Ward saw that Bruce Lee was playing Kato, and it's like, holy shit, they know me as the karate guy. He's the actual karate guy. He's gonna kick my ass.
Did you know that I starred in a very crappy Green Hornet remake in the mid-2000s?
I remember that movie, and Kato chewed you out, too.
For those who don't get that joke, watch my channel more. And yeah.
No, really, he's a reveal. We found his stunt double.
Don't choose sleep deprivation, people. But yeah, for you, man, that pick makes perfect sense. That pick makes absolute perfect sense. Just like what mine
because it was so goofy. It was just one of those. It was so goofy that they're sitting there with straight faces the entire time. the Bat Computer, which is labeled Bat Computer, and next to it, Bat Printer.
There's a blooper reel. There's a blooper reel out there, right? There has to be a blooper reel.
I have to look at. Okay, I have the box set actually. I have the box set of the entire series. It's on my shelf over here, and I swear to God, if it doesn't have a blooper reel, I will be so pissed because it would be funny as hell.
That would be an amazing blooper reel, man. Well,
okay, sir. What's your number 4?
Well, going how yours makes sense. We're gonna stick in the wacky, funny comedy times. Just happy, just good spirits. Everyone's happy. Everyone's having a great old time. Everyone's prospering.
Death Clock?
In Vikings.
Oh, God, even worse. I knew this was going to be on there somewhere because you've been ranting and raving and trying to get me to watch it. And this was after I had watched Game of Thrones the first time all the way through. I did not need more blood and gore after that.
I am currently watching Game of Thrones. Might have been on this list. Actually, no. Honestly, I do still. I'm on season 8 of Game of Thrones. So basically, I've seen Game of Thrones because I've seen most of season 8 already because I watched it when everyone else did. In my defense, the reason why I haven't seen Game of Thrones before was I didn't have HBO. We know we got this, but I didn't believe in a certain type of way of getting. I'm a good boy, and we got HBO Max this year, and I'm finally watching. I'm almost done with it. I love the show. But for me, obviously, for people who've been here, obviously, I'm Mr. Viking Boy here. Hence the name Fenrirock, and hence the whole name of my channel and all that stuff. But Vikings, yes, that show.
Well, you like Fenrirock rock and roll, so Fenrirock.
Fenrirock.
I said Fenrirock.
You said re. We're not reeing right now yet.
Okay, full disclosure, if you watch FVC at all, our channel where we, back and forth, I can't say Fenrirock without...
Well, we haven't done anything with your normal voice yet, have we?
We did a few episodes with it, and I think you were going... I was sick that week, and you were saying,
That's right.
Oh my God, the kid lost his illustrious voice.
FVC is coming back, by the way. FVC is going to come back. We're going to have a video going over that shortly. We'll go over that later, but...
Yeah, we're gonna have that. We are not dead. We're still alive. A lot of shit has happened.
A lot of stuff has changed in the real world. So.
If you've seen his channel or you've seen my channel, the Curator's Game Archives, I've explained how job changes and shit like that's been going on in my own life. And we have, Dave over here who's had a lot of shit going on in his own life as well.
Yeah.
And it kind of puts recording to a halt. Although he has way more channels than I do. I have one. He has...
I manage 6.
10,000.
That feels like 10,000. I have them. I really only regularly upload the 2 of them. Okay, back to Vikings. Okay,
yes, back to Vikings.
Obviously, subject matter. Viking subject matter. We just covered that in a way. What else were there? The world building, the world in the show Kattegat is beautiful. The cinematography in the show is beautiful. You need to watch this damn show.
I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I know the show.
No, you don't. But I will say I watched Vikings Valhalla. I liked the show too. I get it's only been one season so far, but I feel like they crammed way too much stuff into one season. Like they're not sure they're getting signed on for more seasons. Whenever you get around to watching, you'll see what I mean. They crammed a lot into Valhalla season 1, but yeah, Vikings is just the world building, the battles. Like unlike Game of Thrones gets a little crazy. Obviously, there's dragons and shit, but the battles in Vikings are actually super realistic. You'll forget it by the time you watch it. There's a scene where they're fighting in the battlefield and they go to cut this dude's arm off, and the sword goes down into his arm. But in real life, if you get at an angle, your sword's not going to go through the dude's arm. So it caught on the guy's bone, and the skin was just flapping off the side of his arm.
Oh my God, they actually went realistic with it?
The fights are realistic as hell. I love the fights in the show. It's just...
Okay, I'll watch it. I know I have ways.
Yeah, it's called Log On. It's on Amazon. You already have it.
I have ways.
It's on Amazon and Netflix.
I have ways.
It's called Excuses, sir. But... No, the one thing I like that don't overdo in the show too is like the one huge thing about Viking culture and everything is the supernatural, the belief in the gods, and the belief in everything, the spirit of the earth and all this that's around them, and they don't shove it in your face. And like obviously they pray to Odin, Thor, and Freyr and everything like that, or Freya. Frey's a person's name in the show, but Freya and everything, but they don't like shove it down your throat in the way than the show itself. Like they definitely have moments where like crazy supernatural, but they usually show you that this person's high off their ass right now, so that's why they're seeing a guy with ravens on his head walking in front of them. the way they handle the spirituality of the show is actually really tasteful, and I really, really appreciate that about it. It's actually,
so it's better than Game of Thrones with the three-eyed raven, which is it was a raven flying by, going, "I see a raven, I have powers."
yeah, that's Braun. I liked Braun until he became the three-eyed raven. We're not going to get into that right now.
I like him when he fell out of the tree, personally, or fell out of the building. Okay, no spoilers, okay, but I'm sorry, spoilers because, well, come on, it's been out for how long now?
I haven't finished it yet.
Oh, you saw the first season when he gets pushed out by Jimmy.
Yeah. Oh, it's the first episode. It's not just the first season. It's the first episode.
That was the first and last time I liked Braun.
Oh man, like he lost. Like as soon as he became the three-eyed raven, he just lost. I get like yeah, he's an all-knowing person. He sees all and everything, but that doesn't mean you lose your personality. And he has zero personality now.
He basically, I'm sorry, Hal 9000 has more personality than he does.
And you're not joking.
And,
I mean, at least he can rap.
It's seriously no. What Braun is, if you took Hal 9000's personality and mixed it with Charles Xavier. I'm sorry, Stark, but I can't let you do that.
If I don't know about Viking, is it makes you feel like a badass through approximation. Do you feel like a badass watching the show? Okay, your next show, sir. Your turn.
Okay, my next show, and this is going to be a interesting one because it hasn't finished yet. Okay, and there's actually a little story behind this one. Okay, now, as weird as this sounds, my mother watches a lot of TV.
If you say Desperate Housewives, I'm kicking you out of this room.
Oh, fuck, no, she isn't that bad. No, No, she likes, like, Law and Order.
Actually,
she likes likes crime mysteries.
Irony aside, Desperate Housewives is actually really good. Okay, keep going.
Fuck off.
And Eva Longoria. Who doesn't want to see Eva Longoria?
Oh, I like to see her, but just not in the show.
Keep going.
Now, it took me a while to get onto the show. I waited for a couple of seasons to come out, actually about 5, before I started watching it. And it's mainly because of one actor I got into the show. And this was the second appearance I've ever seen him in, and it's not from another TV show, it was from a movie. I first knew this actor from a movie before he did the TV show, and he's basically the star of the show.
I have no idea where he's going with this.
Blacklist.
Oh, you're talking about Mr. James Spader.
Yes,
Ultron himself.
I never saw him in The Office. I haven't watched The Office yet. I have an urge to. I haven't seen it yet. I have the urge to eventually watch it.
Wait, James Spader's in The Office?
Yeah, with hair.
Oh.
Think about that. But yes, I first saw James Spader when he did Age of Ultron for the Avengers, and from that point on, when I started watching Blacklist, when he's the main character, Reddington.
It's a good show. It's a good show. I haven't finished it. I used to watch it more when it first started, but it just kept going. I kind of got other stuff, but it's a good ass show. It's really good.
I've watched it all the way through. It's only gotten better, actually, in my opinion.
That's good.
I like the twist. I like the turns. They can actually get rid of other characters in the show, like main characters in the show, and they keep you watching because they remind you of that character that had like either left for some reason or like that. But they do say, yeah, they went on, they're fine, or yeah, they died, but we still remember it. And it was a whole story arc. A character leaving turned into an entire story arc of revenge.
Oh yeah, cause I've seen every now and again I'll like walk by and someone's watching it, and yeah, I know they're like on a whole revenge arc, just going back. Like I know he got betrayed, whatever, and he's just getting revenge against people, and yeah. I know the main chick who was originally good, she's now on the run too now, right, or something like that. I'm
not spoiling anything for you. I am already on season 10.
Oh Jesus, it's been on for a long time now.
You need to watch it because trust me, they actually solved one of the biggest mysteries in the show, and they didn't make a big deal of it or even a point of it. It was a passing conversation. It was a small conversation over a flashback, and if you weren't paying attention, you never would have got it, and you would still be going, the fuck is this? And you'd be going, I never caught that. It's like an Easter egg within the main plot of the story. But James Spader, by all means, is one of the best actors in that show. I love all the actors. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the other actors. They do a great job.
But it's James Spader. It's James Spader.
Spader just has that way about him, that charisma, that voice. He rolled high in charisma, man. I mean,
hate
It's
you.
just whenever he talks, you can always you're paying attention to him, and that actually segued into him having issues on Age of Ultron because he did all the mocap work.
Yeah.
And the thing is that halfway through it, when Ultron grows in size to that massive, like 10 feet tall, they actually had to attach a rig to his back and put two little orbs up here
so people
that
eye
you
contact.
need to give him eye contact. So you need to look up at the two floating balls that are attached to his back for eye contact. But since James Spader has that charisma and that voice that you're kind of just drawn to eye contact with him, most of the actors you can see in outtakes were just staring at at Ultron's crotch, basically.
I would too.
Because that's where James Spader's eye was at Ultron's crotch.
He's the best Bob in the business, the battery-operated boyfriend.
Well, it's like Scarlet Witch or even Black Widow staring, that's one thing, but Thor?
Hey, if it works, it works.
But yeah, so far I love that show. I have binged watched it. I have done a whole season in less than 2 days.
Damn.
And those are hour-long episodes. I basically wasted 2 days watching it because the show is good.
Hey, I mean, I've got to season 8 of Game of Thrones in less than a month, so I feel the pain there.
Oh yeah, you are just a madman. Well, they go from like 45 minutes to like an hour and a half later on.
I'm in the hour and a half
seasons
zone
are
now.
shorter.
I'm in the hour and a half.
Well, because the
zone
season's shorter. They were going from like 10 episodes to I think 5.
Yeah. Well, season 7 had 7. No, season 7 had 8 episodes, and season 8 has only 6. But the last 4 episodes are an hour and a half each. So I mean, it equals out.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. So yours was Viking, mine was Blacklist. Now your turn.
Yep. Well, because you revealed 3, I revealed 2. My number 3 is one you've seen. It's actually a tie. I have a tie at my number 3, but it makes sense.
Oh,
it makes sense why I have a tie at number 3, and you'll know when I say it. You've watched half of this, and I've been telling you to watch the other half, and you know you haven't done it. You know where I'm going with this, folks. You also, if you watch half of this, everyone's seen half of this show. Everyone's seen the first half.
Star Trek.
No.
I'm fucking...
And then you're opening a whole list of which one we're talking about.
Oh God, no.
Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Okay, yes, I have watched Breaking Bad. Never watched Better Call Saul.
You need to watch Better.
I'm drinking this way too fast. I'm okay with that. I'm loose. I'm happy.
But yeah, legit. People like I get Better Call Saul is completely different than Breaking Bad. Other than dialogue, like the dialogue pieces in Breaking Bad. Like the best thing about both shows is just simply the writing. The writing is some of the best writing you'll ever see in television history. The writing is just
well.
Actually, I will argue the writing in Better Call Saul is better.
Than Breaking Bad?
Oh yeah. Well, because it relies on the writing more. Because it's not unlike there's action pieces, but Breaking Bad's more about the you're dealing with a bald man shooting people.
The drug cartel thing, yeah. Breaking Bad was great. I loved that show, and it's like the ending was kind of sad, but you kind of saw it coming. And they had to kill him off somehow. He just couldn't die to cancer. He had to go out with a gunshot. But I figured they wouldn't do just a gunshot in the gut. I thought it was being like a little more dramatic than that.
Yeah,
a little more, because it felt like he just got hit by a straight bullet.
Yeah, and yeah.
I mean, it was funny though. It did have definite funny points.
Dark comedy to win.
Well, my first one was when the bathtub fell out of the second floor, and they're just in there cleaning it up, and they're kind of laughing. There was no music; it's just them there sitting there scrubbing. Like they were just like, the camera stopped rolling. They're just on set cleaning as the janitors now.
That's why you're gonna love Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul is it leans more into that kind of comedy where it's like just super dark, and you feel terrible when you laugh, but it's just.
It's like I shouldn't laugh, but I'm gonna anyways.
Is it because it's these two shows? Like you're rooting for Walter, you're rooting for Saul or Jimmy. Whenever you get to watch it, you'll understand what's the difference. And or if you pay attention while watching Breaking Bad, you look in the background, you actually see his real name for Better Call Saul. His name is Jimmy McGill. It's not a spoiler; it's revealed in the first episode because he gets that later. I digress. But you're rooting for these dudes, and then you have the moment where you realize you're rooting for the bad guy.
You always are on these kind of shows.
And you feel like shit when you realize, because, I'm rooting for a murderous drug dealer and a slimy lawyer who's weaseling his way. There is a couple times in Better Call Saul where you don't root for Jimmy or Saul. There's times, you'll forget, again, you always forget everything, so I can say this. I think it's season 4 or 5 where he scams a group of old ladies.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I won't go too deep into it. I wanted to cry. That episode's messed up, man. It's so messed up.
I just watched Blacklist, where you're rooting for the bad guy the entire time, who is literally the concierge of crime, who shoots anybody in a meeting with him without reservation, and then calls the cleaner saying, "Oh yeah, I got a stain on the floor over there. Can you get that, please? It's blood."
He probably has John Wick's number.
I swear to God, he is John Wick, just old and bald.
Exactly. And speaking of bald, the main reason why everyone loves Breaking Bad, because bald is beautiful. It's a simple.
Wrong area, not your head. Wrong head.
But yeah, they're one of the greatest shows of all time. A lot of people love them. Not many people hate them. Ones who hate them are just trying to be cool kids. It's a simple. Let's just be honest here.
It's controversial. It's not controversial. It's a good show. And yes, I will watch Better Call Saul eventually.
It's not too long. You actually get through it pretty quick. It's only 6 seasons. It's only 6 seasons.
Oh, yeah. Only 6. Yeah. My last job I had time. This one I don't. Thanks.
Because your boss might fire you.
Or watch along.
All right, sir.
You're fired.
What is your number 2 show?
My number 2 show, and this is for a lot of reasons, I've actually watched the series twice over so far. And each time I watch it, I still love it. The cast, I mean, not just the main 2 actors, but the cast in general, I do love. Every character is not just a comic relief or a main star. Hell, the main 2 characters can be comic reliefs a lot of times, especially the named character. He is the goofiest man alive I've ever seen, and it's not Jim Carrey. He's goofy in a charming way. You probably know who it is because the Hammer.
Oh, God. Are you going Firefly?
No, actually I'm not, but he actually did make that reference in the show.
What else has he been in?
Oh, a long-running series before he did The Rookie.
I'm drawing such a blank.
I have his series on my shelf back here. On the very top shelf behind me, I have his book series. Castle.
Oh, okay.
The show where Nathan Fillion plays a writer and helps the NYPD solve mysteries due to the fact that he writes crime novels for a living.
Makes sense.
And he also did espionage. And the fact that he had so many contacts in such an outside of the box perspective on how he would write a story to pertain to how a crime could be solved. And as goofy as that sounds, in some instances it made sense. As weird as it sounds, there were episodes where you sit there and go, huh, that actually makes a little bit of sense. Not from a script standpoint, not from a story or a book, but sometimes the most obvious answer is the correct one. You know, you don't need to dig too far or make an elaborate, oh my God, he had trained monkeys come in on a zip line, parachute down and stab the guy 47 times, and then make off on a snowmobile. No, sometimes it's just a jealous ex-wife who barged to the front door and shot both the husband and the girlfriend.
This is your moment because I've never seen the show. I've never seen an episode of the show. It's on my list of shows to watch. I actually have it saved. I think it's on Amazon. I think I have it queued up in my list. But the floor is yours. Have fun. The floor is yours. Gush. Let me know when you're done. Have fun.
It is a phenomenal show. I enjoyed watching it. It wasn't just the fact that I had Nathan Fillion in it, who plays an inspired writer who basically had lost his spark. And upon a chance meeting with the NYPD, because a serial killer was going around and performing kills that he had written in his earlier works. See, he had not just the Derek Storm novels, which was basically his biggest hit. Then he killed off his outlived character because he was tired of it. He had outlived his usefulness. It's like James Bond. You know, it's like he's been going for so many years. He just needs to die now. He had written other thrillers. He had done other like crime mystery novels before making his big hits. And a killer was going around and copying those segments of the books and turning them into actual crimes. So the police thought that he did it when it actually turned out to be a huge fan who was mimicking the kills that he put in his books and incorporating them into real life. And upon that, he gets inspiration again when he starts working with the head detective, Kate Beckett. And throughout the whole show, it's a love-hate relationship. She does not want him there at all. She does not need a Playboy writer tagging along for inspiration for a new book series while she's trying to do serious work as, lead detective. But the captain is sitting there going, well, the mayor is his best friend, and he loves him and thinks it would be great publicity. You're stuck with him. And over this series, he actually proves to be valuable. He wants to be in the action, definitely, and of course he kind of, comedy shoehorns in there sometimes, but it actually fits into it. She does all the serious police work. He does the, well, if you look at it this way, it doesn't make sense. Why would he do or why would he kill his own wife she didn't have any life insurance, she didn't have anything going for her, he has no means or motivation other than they were unhappy. But this person over here has means, motivation, and makes for a better ending to a story and a better conclusion that you feel satisfied with. And 9 times out of 10, it's like a Scooby-Doo mystery where it's like, yeah, he was right. Holy shit. And the pieces fall into place. It's like Law and Order, but you added a writer who had more insight on how he would write a crime novel and how he would satisfy the reader into going, yeah, that makes perfect sense in a logical form. Let alone they had a bunch of other writers on the show that they would show him playing poker with, trying to figure out a case or trying to figure out, oh, this guy did this, but they got the wrong guy. I can just feel it. It doesn't feel complete. Like they had James Patterson on there, known for the Alex Cross series a few different times. But watching that show actually inspired me to start writing. Because before I was writing my current book or my current story that I've been working on for the last God knows how long now, my first 2 stories, my main one that unfortunately got lost, not in the room, but somewhere, I have no idea where it went to.
The ether.
Yeah, it kind of did. My first one was actually a crime noir where you're literally the voice inside of the guy's head. It's all done from a first-person perspective, and it's all self-narrated. It sounded like one of those old crime film noirs where he's talking to himself in his head. Because I had trouble with dialogue. I could not write dialogue to save my goddamn life. And that helped. And that castle inspired me to actually write and to get into it and evolve my own style. Like, oh, I can add comedy here, and I can have a serious moment here, and I can break a fourth wall kind of here. So it's like, oh, that's why. It's like, why would they ever do this? It doesn't make any sense. I know, right? Seriously, like, who writes this? And it inspired a little bit of a joke in there, and I've incorporated that into my current stuff now. So eventually, in the next 10 years, it'll be done.
I feel you. But yeah, that's definitely on my list. I'm pretty sure I've seen it. It's either on Amazon or it's on one of the streaming apps.
The funny thing is, though, is that the show, for some reason, actually, in the show, he writes a series of books called Derek Storm and Nikki Heat. And on my shelf behind me, I have the complete Nikki Heat series. Heat Rises, Heat Running, Hot and Cold. They're all, heat-related puns kind of thing. But in the back of the books, they're full-length mystery books that he wrote in the show. And in the back, when it has the about the author, it has Richard Castle with a picture of Nathan Fillion.
That's cool.
So they are literally books written by a fictional character on a show from ABC.
Hey, well, speaking, if you're talking about books written by guys in the show, we have the book from the Bro Code. Or which one? No, we don't have the Bro Code. Which one do we have? Or do we have the
Bro Code?
It's the Bro Code. Yeah,
No,
we have the Bro Code.
No, we have the
playbook. The playbook. That's right. We have the playbook.
Yes, we actually have a copy of the playbook. I gave it to him for his birthday. It has a picture of Barney going like this. He's got it on his shelf right there. You can kind of see it. It is Are you which camera? Are you on the main camera or on my camera?
I was
Okay,
showing the
it's him winking. Sorry, it's the other one's broke where he's doing the eye thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it actually has the complete playbook. I think the only one that's missing is the Robin. I don't think it has it because it would be the last chapter. But it even has Weekend at Barney's.
You are
Because
the last one is the scuba diver.
Yeah, which is the why are you wearing a scuba diver outfit in a bar?
Oh god, it actually has. I just noticed it has, because the last part of the scuba diver says like to be sure to rip these pages up before performing the scuba diver. It actually has lines on there to cut out the pages. All right, okay.
God damn.
Yes, everyone watch that show too. I'll watch it eventually. All right.
It is good, trust me.
My number 2. I think you've seen seasons of this show. I've seen all of it because I love this show. I love this universe. And still a lot of people in my generation, I think. And it's just especially where the time period it came out and where it came after, what kind of inspired it and what went through it. But we only have so many hours in the day to get through that show. I think we have exactly 24 hours a day.
Yeah. As soon as you said no so many. Yeah. Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah, 24. 24, man. 24. It petered out. So the mid seasons, like towards the end, like 2 seasons before the last 2 seasons were good. The 2 seasons before those 2 were kind of not that great, and then everything before was great. The last season was also only 12 hours, which was, we don't have to talk about that. But
well, isn't the whole show based on a season is 24 hours?
Yeah, it's the 12-hour one. It's kind of like a special thing. It's kind of like it was like supposed to be a send off.
Wouldn't you think? I mean, the last hour of the day, which is like the last part of the season, that would just be kind of we're off shift almost. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
Let Grave should take care of it.
So yeah, really. So yeah, the 24. The one other thing I always love about that show is like you never knew what the hell was going to happen. It was, suspenseful, smart writing, badass characters. Damn it, Chloe. No one ever says goodbye on the cell. I blame 24 for no one saying goodbye on the phone anymore. It is Jack Bauer's fault and Chloe's fault and the president's fault. It's all their fault. And no one says goodbye on the telephone anymore. It's all their fault.
I always say, have a good day. Bye.
Which is proof you have not watched 24.
I know, because, yeah. Okay, I like Kiefer Sutherland.
This is well established on this channel. I love Kiefer Sutherland.
And the funny thing is that your number 2 ranks into my number 1 in a weird way. But keep going with yours, because I'm kind of curious. Because I haven't watched any of it. I think I've seen commercials. And I think I saw, like, 10 minutes when I went over to your house one time, over to the Wolf Den, just kind of say, oh, that's 24. Let's play 13.
Yeah. Well, speaking of 13... one thing I love about 24 that no one seems to pay attention to, no one gives it the light of day, the extremely slept on PS2 24 game. I don't think you've played that game. That game is...
That's called 13.
No, there's actually 24 of the game, and it's actually really, really good. And it has really cool shooting mechanics too. Like you bring out the gun, it aims at them, and you actually like a reticle. You can move the gun. It's been a long time since I played this game, but I remember it being really good. The last level sucks. I remember that much. The last level.
You have a gaming channel.
This is true.
24 on the gaming channel. You should do it. This is your inner brain thinking to yourself.
It's better than the new 13, so it's not too hard.
Yeah, PS4 13 was kind of a limp on arrival,
Mm-hmm. The PS5 upgrades coming out, so apparently they fixed some things, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's called get the PS2 version.
Yeah, just play the original. But yeah,
bought the PS2 version just because I got tired of the PS4 version.
But yeah, the parts of the show too is just Jack's relationship with the other characters. Just Jack Bauer in general is one of the best TV show characters of all time. I love Jack Bauer. He's just a badass. He's not a spy. He's a federal agent that bends the rules, and he's basically Batman. He's like not Batman. He's James Wayne.
So he's CIA Batman.
Yes. Who kills?
So he's Batman.
Yes. Who kills?
Okay, so he's Thomas Wayne.
Yes. Yes.
He's Red Hood.
This is a flashpoint. Yes.
Oh God.
But yeah, I will always love 24. People have kind of forgotten about it because it's been gone for a long time. Even though frickin' their Facebook page keeps teasing me because they keep changing their profile picture, saying something big's humming, and then nothing comes, and it drives me nuts.
Well, because the sequel to 24 was actually done by Eddie Murphy, called 48 Hours.
What's your number one? What's your number one?
Sorry.
We're done. We're done with 24. We're moving on. What's your number one?
You love that show. Okay, my number one. You know what it is. It's very obvious.
Well, you haven't gone over it. You haven't gone over it yet, so I know what your number one is.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna drink for suspense. Hold on.
And the one,
Oh yeah, one of the few TV shows.
I'm trying to avoid copyright.
Actually, no. The funny thing is, it's one of the few TV shows that have its theme song censored.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually the TV show made more than the movie. And how it ties back to Kiefer Sutherland.
Was his dad in it or something?
His dad was in the movie. Donald Sutherland played the main character, Hawkeye Pierce.
You know how long it's been since I've seen the MASH movie? You haven't seen the movie.
I saw it.
Wait. His answer is MASH, by the way.
Yeah, I was getting there. You're telling me you're spoiling my reveal. You damn shit. Actually, yes, MASH from 1970s. I think it was 1971. Actually,
I love that show too.
It was a show based on the Korean War in the 1950s, and it showed real war problems brought into a comedy based on the fact it was not about the front lines. It was based upon a MASH unit, a Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. Yes, I am old, and people definitely my age have at least heard a whiff of it from their parents at some point or in a history class. MASH was a great show.
It was.
Now, it is a show that started off as a movie, as a straight up comedy. I've seen it. It was lovely. But the TV show was number one for years. The show ran 11 seasons and had a movie at the end for a conclusion called Goodbye, Farewell, Amen. And the acting in it could go from, depending on who directed it actually, could be either hilarious or so heartfelt that you would nearly cry.
Yeah.
Because it was based on the Korean War. And it's all about a MASH unit, about a hospital, based on the doctors and the nurses that work there. And you have the two main characters in the start of it. You had Benjamin Franklin Pierce, played by Alan Alda, and then you had John Trapper McIntyre, played by, oh God, I forgot his name, but I know who it is. Anyways, it's on my tongue. I know it's there somewhere. As the series went on, it was about two doctors that are just so tired of the war. They were not enlisted. They were drafted. They were doctors. They're both captains. And then you have two majors who are definite pains in the asses. You had Major Margaret Houlihan and Major Frank Burns, who were the comedy relief. You had the head nurse and the other nurse and the other head doctor, who were two of the biggest pains in the asses, because you have a guy, they're both regular army, compared to the two clowns, Hawkeye and Trapper, who were there for laughs, there to get everything going and just patch people up. It was called meatball surgery. It wasn't there to, they're there to save a life, but do it as fast as possible to either get back on the front lines or send it to Tokyo to get the actual surgery and dedication they needed to save their life completely. They were there to patch people up. And hence the term meatball surgery. It was grim. It was definitely grungy in some areas. They were still a clean hospital, but best you could do at the time. And you had, like I said, Frank and Margaret, or Hot Lips Houlihan, who were an item all the way through. He was cheating on his wife with the head nurse. And they tried so hard throughout the entire series to keep it a secret. But everybody in the camp knew. Like, it wasn't a secret. They were obvious as fuck.
Well, when you're around the same people your entire time in one spot, people are going to find things out.
Oh, yeah, but they still played it off as nobody knew. Like, oh, I was just in here with the major discussing protocol. With your pants down?
Yeah.
And as the series progressed, you gained, of course, you had people that leaved out of the show, people that would replace them later on. One of the biggest episodes that even Family Guy, believe it or not, Family Guy referenced in an episode was the episode where Colonel Henry Blake had left the show and had left a big impact on not just the show, but the watchers at the time, because he was the first one to go home. He was gonna go home to his family. He had been discharged honorably, was finally getting out of Korea to go back to the States. And Hawkeye's in the middle of surgery. Radar O'Reilly, who was the chief clerk, he was a corporal at that point, had busted in. They yelled, "It's like, put a mask on!" And he kind of did. It says, "Just got to notice, Colonel Henry Blake was shot. His plane was shot down over the Sea of Japan. There were no survivors." And at that moment, and this is a funny episode. This is a feel-good episode. At the very end, everybody's heart sank.
Mm-hmm.
And Family Guy referenced that. This tells you how deep that episode ran, because everyone from the fuck.
So much
And
sad as
now-
we peak the mics.
Oh yeah, it was a heart-wrenching. But later on, you get a new colonel, you get a new major actually, because Frank went off on the loony bin. He was the Boy Scout kind of guy. Like, he was the tattletale. Like, I'm gonna tell the colonel on you. Everybody hated Frank Burns. He left the show. They got a new one in, who is Major Winchester, played by David Ogden Steers, who actually you would know as Cogsworth from Beauty and the Beast. He did the voice in that movie.
Oui.
He was the not that
I
was
know, that's
Lumiere.
Lumiere. That's the clock.
Yeah, he was the clock. And he is still so uptight in the show too. He was great. I loved him in that show. He was like I had favorites here and there. After Henry left, then you got Harry Morgan, who played Colonel Potter, and I knew him from Dragnet. Him jump on the show playing this. He was old cavalry coming into a MASH unit. He loved horses. He was there on the front lines. He was there. It was just great. I could gush with the show all day. The main reason I love this show, though, the biggest reason for me, is the fact of me and my father, every morning, before I was in grade school when I was watching this, me and my father, every day before I would go to school, before I would walk that block and a half,
The good old days.
I go up, not 2 miles up snow back and forth. No, a block and a half to my school, rain, sleet, or snow. Every morning we would wake up early before I had to go to school, and we would watch an episode of MASH. And that was like our big bonding point in the morning, because I never see my dad during the day or during night, because he worked early mornings to late at nights. He would get home in the morning sometimes. He worked long ass hours at that point. So every morning, that was, father-son time. We would sit there and watch MASH together. And it's gotten so bad that we've actually collected the box set twice. Because we kept finding it everywhere, actually. But that show had so many memorable moments that it had definite, these silly feel-good episodes to these, oh my god, this is a show about a war. That it won't let you forget. That it's not just, it's an imaginary war. No. This is the Korean War, the Korean conflict. And there are definitely opposing sides. And this happened during the 70s, after the war was over.
Yay.
And depending on who wrote the episode, it was depending on how the show would be, actually, at that point. If Alan Alda had written the show for that episode, you can bank that it was going to be a heartfelt, serious episode, because he's not the clown he portrayed on TV. He's actually a very serious person, and it can be a serious actor. This is the only role where he ever played a class clown, or as a sharp-witted, talk back, don't give a shit kind of person. And when he wrote an episode, it was a very serious one, and it was a very impactful one. My grandfather served in the Korean War as a gunnery sergeant.
As mine drove tank.
Yeah, and my grandfather refused to watch the show, not because he thought it was a mockery or anything like that, because it didn't want to bring back memories.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how some episodes were. They would bring back memories for him, and he just couldn't watch it. Oddly enough, though, he would watch Batman, and he was a very serious person, but he would watch Batman 66.
It
which I
comes
still
full circle.
can't believe.
It comes
I
full
still can't
circle.
believe that.
That's
Oh,
funny.
come on, the man didn't smile till he was in his 60s.
This is all true. Anyways, again, Matt, I love MASH too. It's a great show. I haven't seen it all, but I've definitely watched. If it's on TV, I'm scrolling through. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm watching MASH today. That's pretty much that's what it is for me.
With me. I mean, I see it on like Netflix, or I'll see it on every now and again Amazon will have a season up there, and I'll binge watch it. I bought them on Apple. I think I bought a few seasons just to watch every now and again. I've streamed it here and there. But it's definitely one of those things, if I see it on, I'm watching it. It's just not a contest. It's like any other movie could be on. My favorite movies could be on, like Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark could be on. I'm watching MASH. And I'll definitely drag Dad in to go watch it with me. Hell, when I saw it in theaters, we actually it was a Fathom Events. I took my dad to go see that because he saw it in theaters when it first came out. So I wanted to take him to the theaters again. It's like a special like Father's Day thing. Like, come on, let's go watch MASH in theaters again. And oh god, he almost cried at that point. Like it was that touching for him. Like, his favorite TV show, or that favorite movie, we're seeing in theaters again. My dad don't cry that often.
That's gonna be us when we see Mewtwo Strikes Back in theaters again.
As long as it's not the end, or as long as it's not the 3D version.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that.
It wasn't a bad movie. They just forgot one joke that kind of made me sad.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, I'm going to give you one guess at my number one. You get one guess. You know me well enough. You should know. No, we're not doing animes today. This is TV shows. You know me well enough to know what my number one TV show is.
Oh, son of a bitch. I drank too much. Hold on. Is that my trophy in the background?
It's my trophy right now.
Never finished that fucking tournament ever, did we? Oh! You had so many. How much was your first one? You just got into Game of Thrones. Vikings, you rate forever about.
I'll give you another clue. It's a tie.
Oh my god, you just kind of... Well, at first you kind of just made that... Da-da-da-da-da, I'm loving it.
It's not
you did McDonald's, dude. Oh, I know you, but at the same time, I don't always know what TV shows you watch.
Top Gear and Grand Tour.
Oh, well, it's the same show.
That's why it's never... Okay, Top Gear with the real trio, not the modern day Top Gear. I'm talking strictly with my brain's all messed up now. Jeremy, James, and Richard. So,
and Stig.
And I am the Stig. So,
just because you got a bumper sticker, does that make you the Stig?
How do you know? Have you seen him with his mask off?
Have you?
Yes. You know how? In the bathroom. Look in the mirror. Yeah. I don't need to explain it, folks. People here, I love cars. I'm a car guy. I love everything about cars. But
no, you're a sports guy.
Well, I'm guy. That sounds worse when said out loud. And
it's the man show.
Oh god, I miss that show.
Sports and cars. It's the man show.
But honestly, I like the car, but it's actually not why I love Top Gear. The reason why I do love Top Gear is this thing I go in life is it's the epitome of chemistry and friendship and just dudes hanging out having fun together, and the definition of shenanigans all over the place. It's just three dudes drive around countries, going to places you would never think you'd see. I never thought I'd see Brunei. This there's so many places I never thought I'd go. Parts of Vietnam you don't see on TV. They go to these extravagant countries, places you see on TV that do tourist attractions, and then they go a mile down the road and show you what the places are actually like, and you see the real glimpses of what's really going on in these countries, and it's freaking nuts. And just the stunts are nuts. The brotherhood between the three dudes, they took over to Grand Tour. Grand Tour kept it going. They actually have a new special. I still need to watch it. It's the perfect show, and it's just I love it. Everyone loves it. Who if you don't, it's because you're a poo-poo head, or you got punched in the face by Jeremy Clarkson. That's why you don't like him. And
I will watch it more. I think I watched 1 or 2 episodes. It's great. I mean, honestly, for me, I'm not really a sport or a car guy. I like cars.
Well, that's why you drive a Dodge.
I like cars. I used to be a Ford guy, now I'm a Dodge guy.
Yeah, like I say, he doesn't like cars. But
Hey,
it was there. You opened yourself wide
a
open.
Charger, by the way.
They're making them electric now. But
But hey, so are the Mustang, so I don't want to hear it.
The Mustang, the electric one doesn't count. That's an SUV. That's just a Mach-E, but they're still making real Mustangs. They're not making electric sports cars.
Oh, the electric Mustang.
No, they're not. That was a rumor.
It's got the Mustang logo on it too. I talked to a guy who owned one.
No, I'm talking about real Mustangs. That's just the thing with a Mustang badge on it. If we're gonna call everything with a Charger, then this is a Dodge Charger. This thing right here is a Dodge Charger. This thing plugged in the wall back there is a Dodge Charger. I don't want to hear it. And now I forgot.
Dodge on it.
But
okay, I will admit that when Dodge came out with the Dodge Charger originally and it had 4 doors, I was very skeptical. Yes, I do drive a 6-cylinder Dodge Charger, but why does Mustang have a 4-cylinder? Dodge never did that with a Charger.
I think they actually make one now.
No, they don't.
No, right. No, they did something worse. They make a 6-cylinder, but when you're driving, so you don't use gas, it turns off 2 of the cylinders, so it becomes a 4-cylinder.
Only if you go less than 70 miles an hour.
Which people who buy that Charger are always trying a 4-cylinder. Get the at least put a turbo. See, at least the 4-cylinder Mustangs have a turbo. That's one thing they have. This is turning into a Top Gear. This is turning into a Top Gear. See, folks, if you want to watch Top Gear, this is what Top Gear is.
Arguing about cars into the mic very softly and loudly.
It's the best show in the world. If you watch Top Gear, you get that joke. But yeah, it's just I love this. I also love British humor too. Like I this is well established. I love British humor. It's just something.
All you need is Glenn Fry on there along with frickin' Ricky Gervais, and then it's a British show.
It's just a great show. Like, let's be honest. Like, if we could easily put more shows in just these top 5. These are just 5 that we just love probably the most. And like, I went on shows I could watch over and over again and not get tired of it. And that's what these ones really are. It's just
same here. These are the shows, except for one. These are the 4 shows I have watched in completion multiple times and still return to. I can return to any of these seasons and know exactly what's going on. And I know Blacklist isn't complete yet. They're still working on season 10, but as of season 9, I'm caught up and remember everything. As for Batman, it's the same thing every day with a different character or a different guest villain. That's the best part, is the guest villains.
Yeah.
And knowing who the actors were, and knowing that there's 2 different Riddlers on that show, and one's Gomez.
Well, folks, if you like our list, if you're watching this on the YouTube version, go check me out. Obviously, if you're watching this on the YouTube version, you're checking me out because it's on my channel. But go check out the Curator. It'll be linked down in the description below. It'll be linked in the end card. If you like video game stuff, like video game reviews and gameplay of kind of obscure games, go check them out. Follow them over there. If you're listening this onto the the audio version, please consider following or downloading. Actually, the first episode did better on that than I was expecting to, so thank you guys for your support. Yeah, drop me a download, let me know. Yeah, drop me a follow, all that fun stuff. Just it's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout, a whole bunch of other places as well. Eventually, I'll give them money too, so I can put it on more places, but not yet.
You're on Apple. That's all that matters.
Exactly. I'm on the main ones. But yeah, folks, thank you guys for watching this. I'm not sure the next one we're going to do. We'll be planning it. I'm not sure my next episode is, so I can't tease things here yet. Actually, here, I'm going to look at this. Give yourself an outro and see what next week's episode is going to be.
Wait, I get an outro for this?
Yeah, give yourself an outro. Tease the folks.
While he's doing that, yes, I do have a channel on YouTube called the Curator's Game Archives. I do any game imaginable. If I have it, I play it. If I don't have it, let me know what you want to see. Always looking for new games to play. I do reviews, of course, if you want to see that. I also do longer playthroughs if you want to see the whole series. I've just done a few recently, actually. I don't know when this podcast is coming out, but last ones I did were Fighting Friday and my Relaxing Saturdays. I'm doing more playthroughs. I have plenty in mind. I have a randomizer wheel for Fridays, and Saturdays right now is Kirby.
We all want to relax.
Everybody, I had the most relaxing Kirby on last Saturday. I actually have a picture of him in his house sleeping.
Yeah, wait till you get to the
It
beat of
was-
this game. You'll stop relaxing real fast. It's Kirby, so it makes sense.
Oh, I did my first Kirby game. I did the very first one for the NES, and I thought this is going to be easy, relaxing, like the creator had intended. Like fly over the stages. God damn it! I was so nerve-wracking. I thought I was playing Kirby Souls.
Mm-hmm. The end of those Kirby games are nuts. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode 2. Next week, we're going to go over why I love music and my history with music. It's going to be a fun, long one like this one. It's my steeps into this channel is built on the foundation of music, and it's what got me going on this YouTube journey to begin with, and it's where we're going to go. So stay tuned to next week's for the Fenrirock podcast. Thank you all to Mr. Curator. He's going to be recurring. He's going to be here in 2 weeks' time. If you guys want to watch this on the YouTube, it's going to be up every Saturday morning, the YouTube version, the week after the audio version. Audio version comes out Sunday mornings. So follow me, see when the episode comes out. Enjoy it when it comes out. Have fun, download it, watch it with me, listen to me. I'll listen to myself because no one loves me more than me. It's kind of easy to love you the most when no one else loves you. So that's the one way to do it. But guys, I love you all as always. The name's David. You can call me Fenrirock. Screw that guy. I'll see y'all next time. Take care.
Hold on.
Well, no, you don't get to talk no more.
Hold on. I have one question.
What?
So you built this channel on rock and roll?
I did. I did the
Throw that in
mumbo.
there.
Bye, everybody.